What is going on, y'all? Narang here from LocksDFS.com, and I'm going to be breaking down this 9-game main slate on DraftKings and FanDuel for Monday, April 15th. Before I get into that, though, I have to announce our giveaway winner. So our winner for last week's giveaway is going to be Andrew Stewart. Been seeing him leave a lot of positive comments on every video. So, Andrew, go ahead and DM either me at ReallyAddy or at Locks DFS on Twitter, and we'll hook you up with your free season pass of your choice. And if you do choose baseball, we'll go ahead and add you into that private Slack chat as well. Speaking of that, guys, if you do want to get yourself a pass, locksdfs.com/shop. I really can't talk highly enough about our MLB product. I know we're running it, but it's really, really good, man. A lot of the members have really enjoyed it. We're concise, we get to the point, but we also try and help you guys build your own lineups so that even without us, you can use the same sort of strategies, the same sort of process when creating lineups, and have that same day-to-day success. As always, though, we are in the member chat 24/7, just talking about the plays, talking about some of the guys on the lock sheet, any guys that you bring up based on your own research. So it's a really fun place to be. We're building a really cool, tight-knit community over there. So it'd be really cool if y'all joined in on that. That comes with either one of these passes. If you get any one of these 3 passes here, it comes with access to this private Slack chat. So definitely check it out if you're interested. I really can't recommend it any more than I already am. So with that being said, though, one more thing I just want to mention. We just launched the Locks DFS Podcast. Well, I should say relaunched. So if you guys were with us last summer, you know that we did a baseball podcast for majority of the summer. And so we just brought that back again. It's me and Christian, and it's more long form on the same topic. We broke down this main slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. We recorded it last night, and it's been up for about 12 hours now. People seem to be enjoying it. I think you guys, if you do enjoy that sort of longer form DFS content, then that definitely is a place for you. We go way in more depth about why we like certain pitchers, why we like certain bats, that I can do in these videos, which I always try and keep, sub 10 minutes. So if you like quick videos, maybe this one's for you. But if you like that long form thing, which I personally like a lot, I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, I think you guys will really enjoy that. So it's on the YouTube channel. You can check it out on iTunes, Podbean, anywhere you really listen to podcasts, it'll be there. So check it out, leave a like. We'd definitely appreciate all of that. So with that being said, let's get into this slate. So when you look at this slate as far as starting pitching goes, the first thing that stood out to me is that Trevor Bauer being 10.4K. It's not that expensive for the highest price starting pitcher on the slate. And for that reason alone, I think that he's going to be more popular than I think he's going to be probably the most popular pitching option on the slate. And I'll probably be in line with that. 10.4K is just way too cheap for a guy of this overall talent. His 2019 numbers do look a little funky to lefties just because he really walked a few guys, giving up a couple home runs. So it's not really indicative of how talented he actually is. If we go to 2018, though, we see he has a 2.95 xFIP to righties, 3.32 to lefties. He's getting a big park upgrade going from Cleveland to Seattle, which is one of the bigger parks in baseball. Yes, he does have a pretty tough matchup versus a Mariners team that has been raking, but they have slowed down a little bit ever since they got away from punishing that Royals bullpen. And I do anticipate them sort of regressing a little bit. We saw Justin Verlander strike out 12 of them. That's certainly something I think Trevor Bauer could duplicate. So he's going to be a guy that I think I'll be targeting in cash games. And for that reason, I think he'll be quite popular as well. Another guy in this mid-price range that I think might rival Trevor Bauer for that same ownership is going to be Yu Darvish. I'm very, very high. I'm high enough on Yu Darvish that I'm considering making him the cover boy for this video. His 2019 numbers aren't going to do him any justice. He's got a 4.88 xFIP to lefties and 8.04 xFIP to righties. But the key with Yu Darvish is what I mentioned in the last video where I recommended Yu Darvish versus Pittsburgh. First off, his price. He's sub 8K. That's way too cheap. Second off, his matchup. He's got a great matchup versus the Marlins. If you filter it by WRC plus, weighted runs created plus, we see the Marlins come in at 26th in the league. If you want to filter it by strikeout rate, they're still going to be bad. They're going to come in 7th most in the league. And then if you want to filter it by walk rate, they're going to come in dead last, or third to last, I guess, after the Diamondbacks and the Giants. And this is really important with Yu because if Yu does struggle, it's going to be with his walks. He's going to lose command. But these guys, just not a patient group of hitters. So a spot for him that sort of mitigates his downside. But, the biggest thing with you is that velocity. We talked about it in the last video. If you're sitting above 94 miles an hour, his PERA is 3.86. If he's sitting below 94 miles an hour, his PERA jumps to nearly 5. It's like 4.86, and that comes along with a decrease in his swinging strike rate. But it's important to note that in a freezing cold game in his last matchup versus Pittsburgh, he started the game touching 94. He dipped towards 92.5 towards the middle of the game, but the last two fastballs he threw were 93.2 and 93.5 miles per hour. And you got to keep in mind, it was freezing in that game in Wrigley versus the Pirates. And you pitched really well, man. He had some swing and miss stuff. He really only made 3 mistakes. One mistake, he lost grip on a breaking ball, hit the pitcher, and then he gave up 2 home runs, which really is only 2 mistakes that he made. So he's pitching well. He looked confident, and I'll definitely be interested in targeting him until he gets priced back up, as he should be. And then there's another interesting guy here with Joey Lucchesi that I think will come in a bit under-owned, but he's got a really, really good matchup versus a Colorado team that struggled to put up runs to start the year. Projected for only 3.3 runs on this slate, which is even lower than who Trevor Bauer's facing, the Mariners, who are projected at 3.5. So definitely an interesting spot. It's a good strikeout spot too. Colorado is not a great K percentage team. They strike out at the 6th highest clip in the league at 26.4%. Definitely stuff that makes for a good starting pitcher, going up against a team that doesn't walk too much and strikes out a lot. Lucchesi, not a guy that's overly talented. He sort of gets his results based on deception. But with that being said, his numbers in 2019 are pretty good. 3.82 xFIP to righties, 0.36 to lefties. And then if we come down to 2018, it's more of the same, really, for him. It's 3.67 xFIP to righties, 2.59 to lefties. Increased K percentage to lefties, obviously. But still over a K per 9 to righties, too, which is really impressive for a guy like him. So a lot of good starting pitching options that you can look towards. I didn't even touch on Nola Syndergaard, so do a lot of your own research, but these are the 3 guys that I'm sort of looking at to start my builds. And then if we come over to bats, there's a lot of spots that we could really target as far as this. We have this LA-Texas game, which is taking place in Arlington. We have massive team totals there at 5.6 and 5 for the Rangers, respectively. Then we have the Cardinals at Milwaukee. They have a rising team total 4.3 to 4.5 for the Cardinals, and then 4.8 to 5.1 for Milwaukee. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But then we also have another spot in this White Sox game where the White Sox are projected for 5 runs. Royals similarly so for 4.6. So quite a few spots to look to for bats. For this video, we'll touch on the Brewers a little bit. So they're going up against Dakota Hudson. Dakota Hudson, just very, very 5-inning sample size, but 5.55 xFIP to lefties, walking a few guys and giving up some hard contact as well. 53% hard hit rate, 30% line drive rate. Going into a lineup that is full of lefty mashers, left-handed hitters, I should say, that mash right-handed pitching. And they're playing in Miller Park, which I believe is the second most friendly ballpark for lefty power behind Coors Field. So great spot for all of these guys. If we go to 2018, we see 5.97 xFIP to lefties, over a walk per 9 to lefties as well. And that comes with a 50 or 39.4% hard hit rate as well. So a great spot for Milwaukee. Makes a lot of sense to see their team total rising. And to add to that as well, this Cardinals bullpen is not the best. They're the 5th worst bullpen in the league. And for what it's worth, they just played in Mexico, so a long day of travel. Who knows what kind of effects that may have on the starting pitching, or on the bullpen. So I'm interested in a lot of these Milwaukee bats. And then this LA side of it, I think Mike Trout joined the team in Texas for this game, so I do anticipate him being in the lineup. If he is in the lineup, this LA team might be one of the best stacks of the day, mainly because of not only does he just make them that much more dynamic and powerful? He's kind of everything for that team, but they're also underpriced. I mean, you have Calhoun at 3.8K, Justin Bour at 4K, Anderson Simmons at 3.9, and Pujols at 3.6. That's just the top half of the order. The bottom half is just as underpriced. And so Mike Trout sort of solidifies all of them, as at least they'll have runners on base. At least they'll have guys to drive in, because Mike Trout's going to do his thing for sure. If he's in the lineup, he'll definitely be my top stud. But look to a lot of those guys. The Texas side, similarly so. Trevor Cahill struggles versus lefties, and this lineup is loaded with lefties. So look towards that a fair amount. And then Milwaukee, which, we already touched on. So a few spots to look to for bats. And there's some other GPP spots that you could definitely target. Like Minnesota's in a great GPP spot. The Dodgers versus Luis Castillo are in a great GPP spot. No one's going to play them because of how good Castillo is, but the Dodgers bats might just be better. So quite a few places to look towards. So do your research, get a pass, hop in the Slack chat, talk to us with it. Talk to us about it all, because it's going to be a real fun slate. We're going to take something down here. So with that being said, guys, please do leave a like and comment on this video so that you could be entered into next week's giveaway. I'll announce that winner next week. Please do check out our podcast. Just keep it running in the background. If you're at work, throw some headphones on, put it in. If you're driving to work, run it on the sound system, whatever you got, and then and just listen. I mean, if you're building your lineups, keep it running in the background and just pick up on little tidbits that we talk about. It'll definitely make you a better DFS player. That I can say with real confidence. So leave a like, leave a comment if you did enjoy. I hope you guys win a ton of money tonight, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.